You're listening to the Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, you can learn a few things about your old age from babies. And what if the James Bond movies had been made by women?
Tuesday is my babysitting day, so I'm ready to go to bed. And it's, 4 o'clock?
I find that, and perhaps you find that the exhaustion shows up for no specific reason other than, in my case, as near as I can figure it out, no desire to do anything else for anybody.
I just have no desire to do anything. So I think I have you beat.
Yeah, as usual, you win. You win. You were babysitting today. You were grandma today.
Yes, I was grandma for, an hour this morning and then some hours this afternoon.
I will totally not be doing that for my grandchildren. Should I be lucky enough to have them?
I like to have him around. He's very cute.
You're a nicer person than I am. We've already established that.
Yeah, he's so cute.
I don't know if cute has anything to do with it.
I don't know.
Plenty of people in my life are cute, and I don't want them around either.
Well, pretty much everything he does, except go in his diaper, I look at and I go, oh, he got that from me. Oh, that's my gene.
Keep it up, and you'll be
so smart. He's so coordinated.
Keep it up, and the diaper will be you too.
Oh, God, I hope not. This is where you start to realize that your spouse is
20 years
a generation behind you or ahead of you. I don't want anyone changing my diaper. I just want to
do it yourself, will you?
No, I just want to implode at that point. Speaking of implosion, I'm going to tell you the worst boomer story.
Wait, before you get to that, here's what I'm hoping. That the
this is going to be mean, I know.
No, that the Artemis astronauts have got this problem solved for us, and that somehow there'll be some high-tech solution where you stand in the machine and the diaper comes off and you were like bidetted and then you're done and you don't actually have to deal with any of it.
This is disgusting.
Well, it's our reality someday if we're not careful.
Maybe.
Well, there's always the Grand Canyon. Over you go.
There you go. Or just go up the top of the mountain here.
Is this a thing, though? Do people jump into the Grand Canyon regularly?
Yeah.
They do?
They fall in it. People are stupid.
No. I mean the part, because when I lived in San Francisco,
I don't think so.
There was the Golden Gate Bridge temptation for people.
No, I don't really think so. I think it's more idiots trying to take selfies and they fall.
Okay.
I was just going to tell you a simple, happy little boomer story.
I'm ready.
So we were in Denver last week.
Yes.
Visiting our girls.
Yes.
And I kept dropping my phone because that's what I do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
My phone is either like in the couch, in the bed, mostly on the floor. And yes, it gets dropped several times. So Molly, my oldest child, said, Mom, why don't you get a case for your phone? And I said, because of all this pretty design in the back, I don't want to cover it up. And she said, there shouldn't be any design on the back of an iPhone 15 Plus. And I handed it over to her. She was like, Mom, those are cracks. You broke your phone. And every time you drop it, it breaks even more.
Oh, no.
I thought it was decoration. I thought it was fancy.
That's a metaphor for life right there.
Yeah.
One way of looking at life is that the cell phone that you keep dropping is damaged and will soon be useless garbage. And the other way of looking at life is that you have a pretty cracked design on you.
Exactly. I'm cracked. Seriously, for months, I thought that this was a design and I didn't want to put a case on it to cover it up.
And you didn't notice that it had changed at all?
Yeah.
I'm saying this as someone who went today to get her eyes checked. And they keep swearing that all the equipment that they're using is not new. But every time I go, there's something I've never had to do before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, look at this descending icon of a rocking horse and sticking on a balloon. And you're like, what? Did I have to do this last time? oh, we've been doing it this way for years. And you're like, no. 4 years ago, I was here and I didn't have to look at an icon of a descending rocking horse and stick it on a balloon and click a button when it was stuck. I didn't have to do any of that. Well, here, look at this thing with a farm road and chickens and chase them around with this little one eye closed and a thing on your head. And you're like, what? What?
So you're saying that you failed the eye test?
I love the eye doctor. I forget what they're called. They're
Ophthalmologist or an
optometrist
optician.
or optician or I can't, there are too many.
They're two different things.
They're optimizing.
Optometrist and ophthalmologist.
They have maximized the opties. I need to
Yes.
minimize the opties. The opties.
Yes,
are
they do have the
too
market
many
of opties.
Yeah. So, which is, yeah. Okay. So the eye doctor said, you know, the nice thing about these tests is that you can't really fail them. Your vision's just your vision.
And that means
that I need a new pair of glasses. And I've been for years just sticking new lenses in the old frames because I love the old frames. And now I have to go on some kind of insane scavenger hunt around the world because they don't make them anymore. And then I had this unsettling experience of finding, in case I couldn't replace these frames, a different sort of frame. And we're looking at all the frames and I don't like any of them. And then I look in the window and there's a pair of sunglasses, big old sunglasses. And I say, what about these? And she says, well, with tinted lenses, they look really great on you, but probably with clear lenses, they would be comically large. And I looked at her and I said, since when is comically large a bad thing?
exactly says me wearing comically large
The
glasses.
hell? How dare these little pipsqueaks? I'll take the comically large if you can't find my old ones. Thank you very much. What the hell is with these kids? Get off my lawn. How dare you tell me that the glasses that I want to wear are comically large?
Get off my lawn with my cracked phone.
Yeah.
And my comically large glasses.
And my comically large other parts. None of your business. You want to evaluate my brassiere too and decide if that's comically large?
You actually wore one?
I told you when I leave the house.
I know. My clothes just keep getting bigger and bigger. So you can't tell.
It's uncomfortable.
Oh, see, they're uncomfortable to me. But we won't go over this again because we don't have any bra sponsors.
I had a wardrobe malfunction.
At the eye doctor?
No, last Saturday I got in the car to go to services with small cutie and I said, oh my God, my bra is stabbing me. The underwire had broken free of its confining little chute and it had zoinked itself right up into my chest. It almost penetrated the surface. I think there are people with chemo ports who have less of a hole in their body than this bra stay, the mother whalebone thing.
That happened to me, which is why I will not wear or buy a wire bra ever again.
Well, it's very painful.
I wear the ones that have, like, I don't know, something that holds them up, but it's not wire.
The mother whalebone.
Yes, that does hurt.
I just thought of something. You probably never thought of this, but this is why you have me around. If women were in charge of making James Bond movies, there would be a secret bra underwire weapon.
Ooh.
Yeah. No one would ever catch you. You just shoot it right out of your bra, stab the unsuspecting criminal right through the chest or eye or wherever you needed to, stick the damn thing back in your brassiere, and off you go.
There you go. my last wire bra stabbed me in the armpit. It just
they do that
it
too.
entirely
One way or
just
the other,
went,
they're going one direction or another. Either they're puncturing you under the arm, giving you permanent lymph node damage, or they stick you in the chest. And the best thing for these is to just repurpose them as secret weapons.
I think we should. I'm sure that wire bras were invented by some dude, and I think we should get even with wired jock straps. Let the men go running with wires holding their parts up.
We're just
as they
bitter.
run.
We're bitter old women. Bitter.
Yeah,
Although I
bitter.
have to say, one of the nicer marital, women tell each other things about their marriages that their husbands don't realize that we tell about our marriages. Not you. You're very, very private, extremely private. Your beloved Frankie never has to worry that any private conversation of a romantic nature will ever exit your lips. However, my other girlfriends are much more forthcoming at moments. And one of my girlfriends, who's ample, said that she was desperately looking for the new brassiere she'd bought for some special occasion. And her husband went up and said, I'll hold them up for you. And I just thought that's one of those charming things, in a marriage that you treasure. It's just, I'll hold those up for you.
Oh, yeah, that might, you could interchange my husband in there. And
Really?
he's a boy.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's so sweet.
he's a boy.
That's very sweet.
Boys like boobies.
Some like other parts, varies.
Okay, I'm changing the subject.
See
Because I have
there?
one last story to tell.
Yes.
I haven't been able to sleep. Do you have sleep problems?
Well, that circles right round to the husband again. That's his job.
Well, we go to bed at different times because he gets up to go to work at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, he can come in there and apply some personal soporific to you.
I don't want to.
Oh, well,
Anyway.
never mind.
No, it's
Never mind. Yes.
We have the weekends for that.
Okay.
Anyway, so I took what are those called? Not Somonux, but
Oh, yeah.
one of those that's been on the shelf forever,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to make you sleep,
Yeah.
and it wasn't making me sleep. So I finally
You took
for
5 more
2
of them,
hours.
did you?
2 hours. Yeah, no, this is a horrible story.
Uh-oh.
2 hours. I finally fall asleep,
Uh-huh.
and like at 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up because our bed is going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and
I
down.
have to interject here, all by itself, right?
No, it was a cat sitting on the
Oh,
remote.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. So I chased her out, and then the same cat decided she wanted to make phone calls.
Oh,
So she marched all over my phone until I got a phone call back from the vet saying, "Is there an emergency? What's going on?" I said, "No, it's just Pancakes. Pancakes is getting a little frisky now in her old age."
I can't get over the idea that people get frisky in their old age. Like, who are those people?
Frisky people?
Now, if they were frisky when they were young, that's one thing. But who gets friskier when they get old? Demented people, that's who.
People who don't know any better.
People who forget that the parts don't work the same anymore. That's who gets frisky. If you forget, you should remember that hurts.
I just want to remind you
Yes.
that we have both reached that certain age where when we have birthdays, we go backwards.
Okay. Well,
Instead of
by the
forwards.
way, let me just say here, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
you. Happy birthday. As usual, your card will be late. Happy birthday to you.
So I'm pre-celebrating my birthday by getting a haircut on Thursday.
I'm making the spousal unit celebrate my birthday by getting his hair cut.
He doesn't have any.
Well, he has hair in places that, if he doesn't get that shaving thing applied to the top of his head and the sides, they just has him go over it with the zero. But it all he starts to look like one of those eagle chicks.
Yeah, okay.
The eagle chicks
I'm
with
picturing that
pin
right now.
feathers. Yeah, just coming out it's, we're getting to that age.
Well,
Getting to that age.
my husband, I think his last haircut was 6 years ago.
Because he has hair.
And, well, you know how long his hair
It's
is.
one of those ironies that when you have hair, frequently you don't need to get it cut. But if
No,
you
he won't.
don't
He
have hair,
refuses.
then you do.
The one time I got him to cut it, it was a really bad cut.
Well,
And he looked like Prince Charming.
okay. He's probably
And
afraid you're going to give him, what were those things that hockey players all got? A mullet. He's probably
mullet,
afraid
yeah.
he'll be stuck with a mullet.
Those are back in style now, I hear.
Well, fortunately, we've aged past that too.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's enough old people fashion advice for the day.
Wire jock straps. I'm going to go on
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank and propose it.
Well, if they don't
It's
take
not-
it on Shark Tank, I know some people running establishments in the Chelsea area of New York City who would probably be very happy to apply those to their clients.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
It's a business, baby. It's a business. Thank you for listening to the podcast. It's clear you like listening to things, so you might enjoy the audio version of my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. I read the entire darn thing myself. You can download it from Audible. It's not free like the podcast, though, so if you're thrifty, like me, you may still want your public library to order the printed version.